Hey y'all, it's Rip One Outdoors. Hey, good to be back with y'all this morning. We're in the workshop this morning, as you can see, but we got a little maintenance video that we want to do for you. Freedare Eden and the Freedare Saiga has a GPS module mounted right down here at the bottom, right behind the crank here. And we received a replacement that Freedare wanted us to change out. Change this module out, and in order to do that, we have to flip the bike over, and we're going to take the rear wheel off, we're going to take the fender off, then we'll be able to gain access to this IOT module, as they call it. Hey, before we get started, we're going to slip in that intro. Okay, y'all, before we get started, now Freedare hasn't asked me to do this, but I just feel like that I would be better off if I unbound that GPS module, or just unbound the bike and then rebind it, because it's supposed to have a brand new number, okay? So in order to do that, I'm gonna go to the profile and then device management, and that's the bike right there. I know that for sure. So I'm just going to hit unbind here. After unbinding, you will not be able to ride this bike. Check the relevant messages. Are you sure you want to unbind it? Yes, indeed. All right, so we successfully unbound this bike. Now we'll just turn our phone off here, and then after we get through with it, we'll rebind it with the new IOT module. Okay, y'all, we got the bike flipped over as we mentioned we would do, and we got the back wheel here where we can remove it. I wanted to show y'all how we had the front set up on the foam blocks up here. I got this little plastic stepping stool here, and I put that under the rack. You don't have to take the rack off, okay? So that's going to help get it up to where I can actually sit in my chair over yonder and work on it. Before we get started taking the wheel off and the fender off, I wanted to show you the tools that we're going to need, okay? Y'all excuse me if the camera is shaking. I use a 3/4 inch wrench to remove these big nuts that are holding the back wheel on. It's probably a metric size, but that fits good enough for me. A pair of dikes. We're going to cut zip ties with them. A 10mm open end wrench, a 10mm 1/4 inch ratchet, 5mm ball end Allen wrench, and these are from Harbor Freight. I'll show you that set in a minute. A 4mm, a 3mm, 4 zip ties. I got my little zip tie tool right here, but you don't have to use that. That's just for me. I put these here to show you, don't use those. Don't use them. Throw them things. Don't use them. Them one's gonna booger up your screws, okay? Pittsburgh. Offset T-handle hex key set. There's a SAE set there, and there's a metric set. Harbor Freight. I think it's about 23, 24 bucks. Worth every penny of it. I use it on every bike that I work on. Yeah. Don't use the ones that I chunked there. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. Take the back wheel off. First thing I want to do, cut these zip ties. I know y'all know this, but don't cut the wire. Loosen this big nut, and that thing should just peel right off of there. Get you a peanut butter jar lid or something like that. Put your parts in with all the rest of the stuff, because it's got that cable weaving through it like that. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this 10mm wrench right here, and I want to make sure that there's nothing gonna be binding about this axle. So just turn that a little bit, and just to make sure that's gonna be free, and then this wheel should pull right on out of there. You know, y'all can see this. I unplugged this cable over here. screws in. Got a little collar screws up on there. Now I'm just going to gently pull it out. I want you to see how I manage this chain and this derailleur as I pull this wheel up. Grab it like this. Then I'm going to pull straight up. Maybe give it just a little bump right there. And it comes straight up. All right, you see that? And then I'm just going to reach here, grab this chain, pull it over there. But that wheel is off. Okay, we got a screw up here at the top. Use my 4mm hex wrench to take that loose. Use my 5mm hex wrench, and this is where I'm going to use this little socket right here. Now we have two of these fender stays, one on each side. We'll take those off, and that's going to be all that holds the fender on. Okay, off comes the fender. Set it off over yonder somewhere. Okay, this is where we're going to use our little 3mm hex wrench right here. You got two screws that goes right through the ends of this module that we got to take out. Okay, here's what we're going to do up here now. One more zip tie. Cut it off. Then we got to pull this little rubber grommet here out. Just like so. And kind of free up these wires. Alright, the wire we want is going to be this one right here. That's it right there. So we're going to take it and just pop it out. Okay. And that comes out. And there's our module right there. Set this on the side, and we're going to go get our new one. There's the new one. Same thing. Feed it through from the bottom there. That's got to come through this little wire thing here. Then in order to connect these up, you see how that one's got the little tit in there? And then this one here has got a little notch there. And if you look at these wires, they both have arrows on them. We're going to line the arrows up, and you'll just feel it that it's right. And there you go. Now we're going to stuff this coupler back down in the hole here. Before we put them wires back in there, I think we're just going to go ahead and tighten our module back. Okay, we tightened it up. Now we're going to take this little grommet and try to push it back down in that hole. You'll know when you got it. When you got it all the way back down in there, it sits pretty straight there. Okay, y'all, we got the fender. I won't bore y'all with how we're putting it back on because it goes back on just like it come off. So I'm going to put the fender back on, and then where I'll connect back up with y'all is where we go put the wheel back on, okay? I'm going to position the wheel with the cable coming straight forward like this, okay? Then I'm going to go down in the hole over here with it. Let's do it. Grab the chain, pull the chain out the way. Remember, I'm going to pull that derailleur back. One thing I've got to remember here now is that as I'm going down and I'm watching things here, I've got to hit that brake caliper, okay? There we go, right there. That's what it looks like when it's down in place, okay? The brake rotor has got to be down in the caliper. You might have to wiggle it a little bit to get it in the hole. Perfect. My daddy said you can't get no better than that. Okay, y'all. Here's what we're going to do. Look at the way our arrows are, okay? We got an arrow on this one and an arrow on this one. We line those arrows up. Shove it in. Tighten down that binding ring there. We'll put some zip ties on here. Where'd I get these zip ties at? Got them at Harbor Freight. where I get a lot of stuff at. Love Harbor Freight. Okay, y'all, that's done. If you want to just feel and just make sure everything's in good and everything's, there's nothing rubbing, just give the wheel a roll there. I know y'all can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it. Let's get the bike flipped back over, y'all, and we'll finish this thing up. All right, let's put the battery in it and put it through the old smoke test, okay? Turn the power on. If it don't smoke, we got a good modification there. Okay, let's see if we can do this, y'all. We're gonna bind this module to this bike. So, y'all remember where we went earlier? We went to Freedare app. Nah, I don't think it's here. It's not here. We've got to go back up here. We've got to click on this little bike down here in the corner and hit add a bike. I'm sorry if there's a glare, y'all. All right, there's the number right there we're looking for, 8912. We're going to put our phone number in here, and it's going to send a code. Send code. All right, there's the code right there, 706522. So we're going to type it in here, 706522, bind bike. Bingo, there we go. And that's all it is to it. From that point there, we can use it to keep up with our rides and everything else, keep up with our mileage and everything. So this bike is bound, and it's bound to the security functions also. So y'all, that about wraps it up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put our bag back on here. We're going to put our phone holder back on. This bike's ready to go down the road. Hope it's been beneficial to you. If you feel like that you can't do it, then, you know, I wouldn't want to pressure you into doing something you don't feel good with. But I believe you can. If I can do it, you can do it. So we hope we can see y'all down the road somewhere. Hey, look out there and catch some of our ride videos. I don't know where we'll be next, but we'll be out there riding these bikes. And hey, check out the Freedare bike. I got to throw that pitch. Hey, hit that link in that description and check out the Freedare site and see what the prices are on these bikes. Also, look out for Black Friday specials, maybe from these bikes. Use that link in my description to make your purchase. Use the RIP100 discount code, and that'll get you $100 off of that price. Hey, y'all subscribe, like, hit that bell notification if you think about it. Until we see y'all out there on the road somewhere, we hope y'all be blessed. Rip One Outdoors. Catch you later.